everyone, Teacher Natalie here. Let's say you've just been hired to teach for Outschool. Yay! Congratulations! Now you need to learn your new virtual classroom, which is Zoom. You need to know how to use all of the functions and buttons so you can have a smooth class. Well, I am here to help you learn all of these features today. Thank you for watching and subscribing my channel. I am here to help you become the best online teacher you can be. My channel is full of tips and tricks to help you. So let's get started talking about Zoom and everything you need to know. Okay everyone, right now I am in Zoom and let's get you set up with all of the buttons so you know where we are and what they are used for. So right now you only see me, and if you hover down or on with your mouse down here, there is a menu with these buttons. Click on participants and that is going to pop up with everyone's name who is in your class. Right now it's only me, so my name shows. And then down here also you have the chat box. You can click on that and that's going to pop up on the second half of your screen. I like to have both up in my class, so when I am in this view I can quickly see everyone in my class who's muted, who's not, and then the chat box, if that's going, I can see that as well and refer to it, and I don't have to be like, wait, what? You typed in the chat box, where is it? I like to have both up on my screen at all times. So a couple of features here with the chat box. Down here you're going to click on these three buttons on more, and you have a list of options for chat. No one can chat. That means that absolutely no one can use the chat box. I do not like to use this one because that is a way students can contact me and message me, and if that is turned off, I don't know if a student is then having an audio problem or can't hear me because they can't tell me. So I don't recommend using that one. And then to host only, that is to me, the teacher only. Students can use the chat box, but only I can see it. This is the host, or this is the feature on my computer right now. I teach younger students, about 6 to 9, so I like them to be able to use the chat box, but only I can see it. I had a class once where students were just having a whole bunch of side conversations in the chat box, and it was taking up class time reminding them, hey, remember the chat box is only for on-topic questions, on-topic discussions, so please stop. And then I had students in the chat box typing, hey, please stop, remember this is only for on-topic questions and discussions. So that was a huge distraction for my age group of students, so I just totally, after that class, only I can see the chat box, which I'm fine with. For older students, you might want that discussion in the chat box, and that's fine. But for my younger students, that works for me. And then you have this one, everyone can see the chat box. Whatever you put in the chat box, everyone can see it. So with talking and using the chat box, if you want to send everyone a message, this is where I send links through the chat box. If I want them to go to a Kahoot site to play, then I'm going to send the link in the chat box to everyone. But I can also message individual students privately, and when I click on the arrow, everyone's name will pop up with the privately word next to it. And I like to use that when I have students who are maybe not participating out loud or unmuting themselves to answer, or maybe they've had their camera off the whole class and I just can't check on them. So I will message them privately, just say, hey, how you doing? Do you have any questions? And then they can type back to me. So I love it to use that because then I can still check up on all of my students. I have also used it one time in a math class. I teach math, and I had a multiplication class. And we were going along, and I like to ask, hey, how are we doing? Is it way too easy, or are we just right? And I have a variety of responses. It's just right, or it's too easy. So with one student, I actually sent in some harder multiplication problems through the chat box that he was able then to solve and send back to me. And I loved that I was able to do that and differentiate my lesson content to fit learners. So that is a couple of ways you can use the chat box. Next up, on the participant side, you have this mute all button. This one is very important when you are on this screen where you can see everyone. Sometimes if you hear background noise or a parent talking and you just can't decide where it's coming from, go ahead and click that mute all button. And I always tell my students, don't feel bad if I mute you, because on their screen it will pop up with host has muted you. I tell them, don't feel bad, I just hear background noise and I can't hear you guys, or you can't hear me if we have that background noise going on. So I always say, don't feel bad. If you still have a question or comment, go ahead and unmute yourself, because I want to hear from you. I just don't want to hear what's going on behind you. Next, you have this list of options as well. If you click on the three dots again, we have mute participants upon entry. This means as soon as they enter the classroom, they are automatically muted. So this is up to you if you want to have this checked or not, if you wanted students muted as they come in or not. I don't have this checked on mine because the students start entering at different times. I like to just, say hi, how is it going? That way I can see, is their microphone working? Can they hear me? Allow participants to unmute themselves. This will depend on you and your preference as a teacher and what you would like, maybe your age range. I allow my students to unmute themselves. They're old enough they can do that and know how to do that, and it's easy for them just to go click unmute and click mute and unmute. But maybe you teach preschoolers and they don't know how to do that yet, so you can go ahead and mute and unmute them as they want to talk. That's up to you how you want to do that. Allow participants to rename themselves. I uncheck this one. I do not like students to rename themselves because then I don't know their name. So on their screen, when you're on this screen and you can see all your students, you can also see their name. I had one student where I can see all their names, and then I've had students just say rename themselves or Skittles or Yo Man or whatever. You might get some crazy stuff. So I always uncheck rename themselves. Now with this one, this setting, I have found that it doesn't save from class to class as you jump in. So this one is going to be something you're going to have to look at and check to make sure it's unchecked every class you have. But with this one, host only in the chat, I have found that this one saves. So whatever you check it as, it will continue to be saved as that setting throughout the next class or throughout your other classes you have. So uncheck rename, that way you know students' names. Play, enter, exit, chime, this one should be checked. That way if a student is a minute or two late, you can hear when they enter and you can go ahead and look at their name and let them in. So please check that one. And then these ones we don't have to worry about. Okay, so now we have those participant buttons figured out and the chat buttons figured out. Now up here at this top screen, mine right now says enter full screen because I am the only person in this Zoom meeting right now. But what you're going to want to do is it's going to say either speaker view, or you can switch it between gallery view. You want to do gallery view. That way on this screen you can see all of your students in one spot. Speaker view means whoever's speaking, the camera is on them and everyone can see them. I like it on gallery view so you can see everyone. Speaker view, if you have students unmuted and it picks up on background noise, the camera is going to go to them even if they're not speaking. So sometimes if you're not careful with the background noise, that camera is going to be hopping and hopping to students. So make sure it is on gallery view. Next, you want to be able to share your screen. You have slides that you've created to go along with your lesson, or maybe you want to show a video clip with your lesson. So you need to be able to share that with your students. Go down back to the bottom menu. I just had to move my mouse, touch my mouse down to the bottom, and the menu popped up. So you need to go to share screen, and it will pop up with this option. Now I do not see the screen I want to share, so I need to go find it. You can also share Whiteboard. I will get to that one next. That one's really cool, but I don't see the screen I want, so I can exit out, or it doesn't matter, and then I need to go to my where I have it pulled up. I have it pulled up in Google Chrome, and I need to hear my slides. Ding, there they are. So I have this slide pulled up. Now I'm going to go back to Zoom and then share screen again. Now it pops up. So I'm going to click on that and then click share. Now, important, if you are sharing a video clip with your class, you need to click share computer sound. That way they can hear the clip. And then you can click optimize screen sharing for video clip. But make sure you share computer sound. I'm going to click share. And then my slides pop up and I pop up in a small corner. Now that we are in here sharing these slides, I need to present them. That way it fills up my slide. Now you have another plethora of tools and options for you. So I'm going to bounce my mouse up here and it will bring down this slide of options. And I'm going to click on annotate. So this button, I have a bunch of different colors that I can now draw on the screen. Now remember, when you are clicking share screen, all of your students have the option to write on your screen right now. They can find this annotate button and they can write on it. I have not had too much of a problem with my age group of students. Some don't even know that's an option, so I don't tell them that's an option unless I want my class to find the annotate button and start drawing or answering a question that way. But if I'm not going to use it during class, then I'm not going to tell them about it. I have had students use it during class and I just say, hey, remember, we're not drawing on my screen right now. It's not the time and it's a distraction. And then that student stopped. At that time I didn't know who it was, which is fine, but they stopped. So it was all good. So I like to use this annotate button to then highlight maybe what I want students to read. I say, hey, can you read this for me? Or to draw their attention. So this clear button right here, the garbage can, I can clear all the drawings. I can clear just my drawings, and I can clear everything my students have drawn. That way, I like this option. If I'm drawing on my screen to look at something and someone else is as well, I can just clear their drawing and keep mine. So we're going to clear that. You also have options of a whole bunch of different colors that you can use. And width of pencil, that is what this is. You can draw with different widths. I like the biggest one, just makes it easier to see. Then you have an eraser. You just have to click on what you want to erase, and it will just erase it. Spotlight, we're going to click off the eraser. Nope, we're going to draw. There we go, clicked off the eraser. I can spotlight my mouse, or I can have an arrow, so I can point to something. And there are stamps. These are just shapes I can put on my screen through if I need, check something as I'm going along. Different stamps. Different drawing options. These are cool. If you want to just draw something, so say I'm on the stamp, I need to draw, then you have to go to the draw button and click this first draw, and that will allow you to draw again. Then if you need just a straight line, that's going to make a straight line for me. If you want to square, say, hey, read this, that's easier. Or circle, read that. Then we have a highlight tool. If you want to highlight words you're looking at or highlight something on your screen, an arrow to point at it, and you have this to maybe highlight something more. Let's change color here. We want to highlight a section of text, or maybe we want to block it out. Those are some options to use during your class. You can also write. I can type something on my screen, and that can be moved around. You cannot see that color. That's okay. When you do type something and you want to move it, you need to click this select button, and then you can move what you have drawn on your screen or whatnot. You can move that around. If you want to click on your screen, say I want to go to the next slide, I need to be on the mouse button, and I can click on my slide. So that is how you share your slides or a video clip. That's how you share your screen. Now if I want to stop sharing my screen, I'm going to just click up here, stop share, and that will bring me back to our video where we can see everyone. The last thing I wanted to show you was to share the whiteboard feature. So we're going to go back down here to share screen, click on it, and then we have the whiteboard, and it will look like this. Now everyone can use the whiteboard, and you have the exact same features here that you could use to annotate on your own slide. So you could use this whiteboard feature in your classroom. Say everyone needs to draw something, or everyone can write something, or maybe everyone's going to write the answer down. That's up to you on how you use this whiteboard function. Everyone can use it unless a student is on a Chromebook, then they don't have this function to annotate or use the whiteboard. So keep that in mind. If a student says, I can't find it, well, are you using a Chromebook? Maybe they know that, maybe not, but that is, and they cannot use it. So you can use this in your lesson, and it can be engaging for them, a way to bring their focus back to your class because you are asking them to do something. A little tip I threw in there. So there's the whiteboard feature. So if I want to stop using my whiteboard, I just need to click again, stop share. And and then it will bring us back to here. The last thing I want to share is the end meeting button. You are done with your class, you need to end meeting. There is this little red button down here at the bottom. Click end, and then it will log you out and everyone else out at the same time. So we're going to click end meeting, end for all. I hope this video has been helpful in helping you know the features and buttons in Zoom so you can use them in your class. We talked about how to use the chat box, where to find your participants, how to share your screen, and how to share the whiteboard feature, and how to annotate and use those tools, and how your students can use those tools as well. So I hope you will be able to have a smooth class using Zoom, and that you can be the best online teacher you can be. Watch out for part 2 of this video, where I will go over even more options that are available to you in your classroom. Thanks for watching and subscribing, guys. Please leave a comment down below or any questions or video suggestions that you would like to see. And I will see you later. Bye, guys.